Oh gosh. Okay. I
No,
didn't have coffee today, so
you've not had a coffee yet?
I don't drink coffee.
What?
Uh-uh.
No caffeine, no. Oh
Nothing.
my days. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Um, any
Are
reason for that?
you
Does it?
saying that I'm a psychopath now?
Well, yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I'm not a morning worker outer, but I'm a no caffeine necessary.
Do you drink tea or any of that? Or
I mean, I will, but I don't like. I'm not like I need tea.
oh
Like I'll
yeah,
have
yeah.
it a week maybe.
Just like a high energy sort of lady.
Just high energy.
Fuck me. I'm kind of envious of people that don't need. Well, I don't need coffee. Let's be honest. We don't need caffeine, but it's also, it's nice. I like it. I like drinking it.
I mean, I would drink it probably if I liked the taste of it, but I hate it. So
That's fair enough.
yeah.
So what's it like gearing up for a big meet or anything with no caffeine? Do you just have to listen to some good tunes?
You know, it's funny because my boyfriend will make fun of me because I'll lift in silence sometimes. I don't care. If I'm in the gym and one of my teammates puts on music, cool. If no one puts on music, I'm cool.
Yeah,
It's
I think
all within yourself, you can't rely on outside.
it's true, but you're definitely a psychopath.
I'm definitly crazy now.
Like
Certified.
that's put the nail in the coffin. You know what I mean? That's just absolutely crazy. Do you not have like a go-to like genre or song or artist or anything that kind of gets you all
No,
geared up?
I don't listen, like I don't have headphones in before a competition. I'm in the back just doing my thing.
Well,
I
there is.
tried it at one local meet. I tried to have headphones in and I actually got frustrated and like threw them on the floor because me and my coach talk a lot in the back. So I had to like keep doing this. And that was just like, I was so annoyed. And then it was taking my focus away from lifting. So I was just like, fuck this. I don't need music. I'm good.
I mean,
So,
there is that like state you can kind of get in with yourself where you're just so zoned in that everything else doesn't really matter. And I guess that's what you sort of use rather than like
yeah.
hearing some hip hop or some bullshit.
Right.
Although people that
It's helpful every now and then, when you're having a bad day or
yeah,
it's
yeah.
an easy day, whatever. But I never really need that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you don't. It's just an aid, right? No one actually needs it, and I think everyone should be able to train in silence.
right.
It is an important point. Like sometimes you'll just be like, "Nah, you're not listening to any music." When you coach or whatever, and it's just like, "Well, why?" It's like, "Well, you don't need anything. You can just do the work. It's okay."
Right.
But it's always fun to
Yeah.
hear a couple of rap songs or whatever. Hear Eminem curse out someone's grandma, or Although like some of the requests you get for songs during a workout or when they're going heavy, like can I get Justin Bieber?
I mean, I'd be into that.
Oh no. You're like maxing out wanting to get a little bit pissed off. Someone's like,
I'm
can I? Oh no.
See, I can't take the screaming, like angry music. I always just find myself like listening to the music, like, why are we so mad? I don't identify with this.
What were you not loved as a child or something? Why'd you have to scream? Like,
Why are we screaming?
yeah, it's true. I mean, fuck yeah, some of the shit, like in modern hip hop too, like, because I like the lyrics, right? I like it telling a story, but some of the lyrics you actually listen to what they're saying. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, this is true too. Yeah.
And I'm like,
What is the beat?
I mean, yeah, it's a look. If you got a beat, okay, cool. But if you can't rap or sing on top of it, then just leave it as a beat. Be a musician. Don't be a fucking song artist or whatever it is. Hey, that's not my field. Mate, you seem like you do a lot. You seem like you're always busy.
I am.
Like how do you fucking juggle it all?
Oh, that's the $1 million question, right? I don't
Yes.
know. Like we just established, I'm crazy, right?
You are a psychopath, yeah.
Well, I am crazy when it comes to my calendar. Everything is lined up. If it's not in my calendar, I'm not gonna do it. So, and then I just prioritize the things in my life that I have to do. So obviously being an attorney is a big priority, 9 to 5, and then lifting after that is a big priority. And then really everything else is kind of extraneous bonuses if I get to do them. So, well, I guess I forgot my nutrition business as well. So I throw that in a couple nights a week.
Fuck.
So.
No, but I relate to that and vibe with that real hard. You do have those things that you have to tick off, right? And for most people, it's their 9 to 5 or it's their project day or whatever the fuck they do. And then everything else, like if it means something to you, you end up making time, right? You find time. People they play the I have no time card more often than it should be played. A lot of the time it's I don't have the energy or I don't want to commit the energy to it.
Or it's just not a priority for me.
Or it's not a priority. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So what does your week look like then? Like, cause it's like you do your 9 to 5 and it's not like, I don't know, you're at a news agent selling newspapers. Like you kind of have an important job. Not saying like selling newspapers aren't important, but you know what I mean. I'm getting at. Weightlifting. I mean, you do decent at that. Let's be honest.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Like nutrition business is kind of thriving.
Yeah.
And then it seems like I read something that you put up this morning. What did you put up? It was. What
did I put up?
Was it Words of Women? It was a post that you shared, and one of the sentences on it just absolutely knocked me for 6.
Hit you, right? Let's see. I'm always interested in how people use language to not say what they mean.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you're a part-time philosopher.
Well, I can't take credit for that, right? That one hit me too, though.
Yeah.
Communication, man. It's crazy. My boyfriend and I actually were having this conversation this weekend about how differently we communicate. And I want to strangle him most days. And he probably wants to strangle me most days. And we feel like I feel like I'm a very good communicator. I speak directly. I tell you what's going on. If I have a problem, I voice it. But he says I'm not a great communicator. And I'm like, no, you're the shitty communicator. Like you literally don't speak. Yeah. So it's all about like perception and are we really communicating well? Are we not? Are we saying are we sugarcoating things? I don't know.
Have you looked at the whole love language sort of stuff?
Yes.
It's so true. I think everyone should learn about it, whether it's a friendship or relationship or just like a partnership or whatever. Like it's fucking true. Like how people like kind of perceive and show love and then also communicate, right? And right. I guess it's like getting out of your head and getting in someone else's head and be like, okay, cool. I know how I'm trying to like show something, but how are they going to perceive it?
Right.
Mate, it blows my mind.
Yeah. My boyfriend, are you on TikTok?
I'm not a 12-year-old girl.
Okay. Well, on TikTok, they were doing this thing where ask your significant other what's the warning sign that they had before they started dating you.
Okay.
And I asked my boyfriend, I was like, what's the warning sign that you wish that you had before you started dating me? And his response was that yelling doesn't mean that you're angry. It just means that you're talking.
Yeah.
So
it's just passionate, right? It's just showing a bit of passion.
So I have stuff to say, and I'm gonna say So that's how I communicate.
Yeah. Fuck, what would mine be? I don't know. Don't take everything I say seriously, maybe. I say a lot of shit, you know what I mean? And like,
Okay.
I'm a bit the same. I will say exactly how it is, and most of the time it's not sugar coated.
Yeah.
Like I will throw the C bomb out there, and I don't really give one. You know what I mean? And some people take it really seriously, and I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So it's probably ignore me, maybe. I don't know. So
Ignore
yeah,
me.
what does your week look like? How do you fucking juggle it?
My week. Well, my week looks very different now because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
So do you want pre-COVID week or now COVID week?
I mean, everyone's in the same boat, right? Everyone's kind of been thrown this curveball with COVID and trying to live as normal a life, what is normal, but live as much of a normal life as they can. So you can give us the COVID sort of rundown.
So I work 9 to 5 still,
Hmm.
but it's a lot more flexible because I work from home, which has been nice because I can like work from my phone and go to a chiropractor appointment or whatever I need to do. Whereas before, I obviously had to like schedule that after work because I work about 40 minutes away from where I live. So I'm driving quite a bit too. Um, so I'm like attached to my phone or computer from 9 to 5. Work is actually kind of boring now that it's COVID because you're just not in court as much. I really like being in court, and yeah, there's Zoom court and stuff, but we've just kind of been settling and pleading out a lot of cases rather than being in court more. So that kind of takes away from what I like to do in work. And also, too, I feel like when we do get back to normal and I do have to appear in court, I'm going to forget everything I learned. I know it's going to be like starting over, but I guess everyone will be in the same boat. So yeah, I work 9 to 5 from home, and then I lift 5 days a week right now, and then I have 2 days of PT because I have some injuries I'm dealing with. So, and then on Monday and Friday, I do my nutrition client check-ins, and then I coach on Tuesday nights at a gym called True Fitness. I coach barbell class. So that's the basic gist of my week.
I mean, it doesn't sound like you got any time to shake a stick. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's much easier working from home, like I said, because like I don't have to be physically in the office. I can kind of flit around and do my thing. But yeah, I have to be, connected at all times from that 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, and you have to be really disciplined with your time as well, right? Like, I definitely know whenever things get really crazy, my end, like I will time it down to like the 5 minute intervals.
Yeah.
Not because I'm like super anal, but I'm like, hey, look, I really apologize. I've got to be this place. I've got to go do this or whatever. And especially
Right.
if you need to go travel, like you need to take into consideration 5 minutes could mean half an hour with traffic.
Right.
So it gets crazy. But I mean, doing things that you love ends up giving back to you, right? So it doesn't matter how much energy you plow into it, you end up getting more energy coming back.
Yes.
That's what I've found.
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot, I mean, I don't find that I'm exhausted at the end of the day a lot of days because I love doing what I'm doing. A lot of people look at my schedule and are like, you're crazy. I don't know how you do this. But I really, like, it actually took me like a transition period going from my previous schedule and working from home because I felt like lethargic at first. Because usually I'm up at 7, I'm running to the office, I'm in the office all day, I'm going to court, I'm going back to the office, I'm driving to Philly, I'm lifting, I'm back home, I'm eating, I'm sleep, and at home I'm just kind of rolling out of bed at 9, going on my computer, sitting on my couch. So I kind of feel like, what am I doing with my life right now? So I had to like figure out different ways. I've been trying to take more walks now to get in some steps and just more movement that I'm used to try to avoid that lethargicness I was feeling at the beginning of COVID. So
And also that crazy schedule becomes a habit, right? And when it's a habit, it's just easy. Like you don't really have to think about it. You go on autopilot and do it. And then when the habit changes or the schedule changes, you have to then think about it.
right.
And I know, at least for me, like if I got to think about what I'm doing and it's not written down in my diary and I just know what I'm doing and just go and do it, like it takes like double the amount of energy.
Right. Yeah.
Because obviously you
Yeah.
got to process it and whatever.
Right. Agreed.
Mm.
I
So
just
what?
it really felt easier when I was back at the office, but easier in some ways, easier now because I think it's actually easier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're also in that environment, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as training at Philly gym, or you've got a garage gym. Like, yeah, you can do some incredible sessions on your own, but when you're around your mates and lifting, it's always a lot easier.
Right. Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. Always.
Fucking
That is one
always.
thing. Does that make me not crazy? Because I do like to train in the gym with people.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like if you're with other people and there's no music on, like it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter
That's
because you should be
fine.
screaming at each other anyway.
Yeah. See, I'm not so crazy.
Yeah, but no
No
caffeine.
caffeine, no music, but with people.
All right, so you're like what, 95% crazy, 5%, kind of all right. So what injuries has been fucking you up recently?
Oh, well, it's like the saga of my weightlifting career. Back in 2017, I herniated a disc in my back. So that has been fucking me up for ever now, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then in March of last year at the Arnold, right before COVID happened, or right during it, actually, um, I did something to my glute. Still unclear if it's torn or if it's partially torn, or I don't know, because I got different I have a million doctors, but I've seen
Yeah.
two, and I'm thinking about getting a procedure now called the Tangent procedure to heal my glute. Take out it basically like sucks out dead tissue
Mm.
because I've been doing PT since last March, and it obviously got me to a place where I was able to compete and win nationals. But if you watch
Casually.
my clean and jerk, what do you say?
Casually.
Yeah. Well, if you watch my last clean and jerk, you can see like something is physically wrong. Like my glute just kind of gives out, and I can't really reach that threshold with my injury as it currently is. So I actually have the surgery scheduled for March 17th. Um, Still doing PT in the meantime, hoping that the heavens shine down on me and magically heal me, but it's not looking so hot.
Did you have you had a scan on it?
Yeah, I've had MRI, X-ray, a lot of ultrasounds. The ultrasound has been the most telling
Yeah.
because they can see a lot of like black liquid damaged tissue in there, and that's what the MRI came back normal, X-rays come back normal. So that's good, but it's just like harder to figure out what is actually going on.
Yeah, it's an investigation game, right? With anything in terms of injuries, and which is awesome when you're the physical therapist, because I find it fascinating. Like someone comes to me with a problem, you're like, oh, this is really cool. I get to be Sherlock Holmes, you know what I mean, and figure it out. Yeah, you put your athlete hat on and it happens to you. Fuck me, it's so annoying.
It's so annoying. I'm like, just tell me what it is, what I gotta do, I'll fix it, and I can move on to the next one. But this has been like an ongoing thing because I did it back in March and I didn't stop training all the way to nationals, this past nationals, because right, we thought nationals was going to happen in May. It didn't happen, and then it was moved to December, so we kind of had to train through all that. which maybe wasn't the smartest thing, but we didn't know at the time. Yeah. So we've just been kind of dealing with it. And I've seen like 4 different PTs, which have all been great. And I don't know if I would have made it to where I made it in December without them. But it's just I'm kind of at a place now where I was in a lot of pain going into that cycle for going into that competition for nationals this year, and I'm sick of being in pain, and I'd like to fix the actual root of the problem. So that's what we're kind of working on.
100%. And then what disc did you end up buggering?
L5S1.
Ditto. That was, what am I, 5 years ago, 4 years ago,
Okay.
6 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Between there.
How'd you do it?
I was stretching.
Really?
Yeah. But they thought it was kind of degenerative because I played front row, rugby union. So like, it's basically a little low down on the front row. It's basically 16 blokes, and their pressure just goes through 3 fellas at the front. You know what I mean? And yeah, they thought it was degenerative. And then one day I was on the floor just stretching, and it just told me to do one, and there you have it.
Ugh. Is it better now, or?
Yeah, so the beginning of this year, no, what are we, 21? So the beginning of last year was the first year I've had with no sciatic pain.
Oh, wow.
I've just got to stay on top of things. Like I got to make sure I do my mobility and things like that. If I don't, it starts messing me up. So it's just like, oh, okay, cool. I've got to pay the man, do the dues, get up in the morning, or half an hour before I train or whatever. Make sure I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. Occasionally it'll play up, and it's usually if I do any high volume deadlifts or high volume hinge, like it starts messing me up. Like I'm kind of built for squatting now rather than hinging, which is annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I for my disc I got cortisone injections.
Yeah.
Which obviously didn't fix anything, but they helped me make it through because I had it like reverberated down my leg, especially in the jerk. And all my injuries come out real angry when I cut weight. So it is not a fun time for me.
Fuck that.
Yeah. It's the worst part. It is the worst.
How much weight do you usually have to cut going into a comp?
I have to cut 8 to 10 pounds.
What's that in kilos?
I usually walk around like 59 kilos, and I compete at 55.
Oh, okay.
So.
Slow and gradual, or are you one of those crazy motherfuckers that just goes, nah, I'll do it in a week?
Oh no, I think I'd die. I start like 3 months out.
Fair. Yeah.
But it's still pretty miserable. I still usually have to, this competition for nationals was the first meet I did not have to sauna.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was pretty proud of that because this was the first meet that I was my own nutrition coach. So I was glad to not have to sauna. That was a big deal.
How'd you like the saunas? Because like, never mind like sweating out and losing water weight. Like I love the saunas because I just feel like my recovery goes up.
Oh God, I will never, ever voluntarily get into a sauna ever. I got like PTSD. No, thank you. I have a portable sauna that I carry to all competitions with me. And as soon as we get it out, I just start crying. Not really, but
Are those little like one person sort of thing?
Yeah. Like
oh nah.
And you just die.
That's got to be like claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. Sitting there for 8 hours on and off.
Fuck that. 8 hours. I do like 15 minutes tops, and that's it. I'm out.
Yeah, my weight cuts are brutal. I've done well, I mean, I can talk about any weight cut. It's miserable, but usually I'm in and out of the sauna on a good weight cut, 4 hours, on a bad weight cut, 8 hours, in and out, 20-minute sessions after, 24 hours of not eating and drinking anything, because you're in a water cut as well. So it's brutal.
Nah.
It's like a voluntary, torturous, I call it death day.
See, this is where the supers have got it right,
Right, exactly.
because they have to bulk to get into their weight category. You know what I mean? It makes you wonder, right?
I know. I have a couple of teammates who are trying to bulk to get into the next weight class, and I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Oh no, I've got to eat again. It's like, fuck.
I know. It's like, fuck all the way off.
Oh, yeah, it's true. But I mean, walking around at that weight, like, everything is hard.
Yeah.
You're like walking upstairs, you're like, oh, I need a break, and I'm halfway up it. Like, you're built to do one lift and then sit the fuck down for 15 minutes.
I don't know though, because I feel that way too. Like, try to get me on I did a CrossFit workout the other day, and it was the assault bike.
Oh, nah.
Jess, I haven't seen you do a CrossFit workout. And I was like, this is why, because I don't cardio. No, thank you.
It's called back squat tens.
Right, exactly. It's called snatch triples. That's it.
Nah, snatch triples is a bit too much. Like, nah. Like, I'll give you 2, and then pray to Jesus if you want a third one. Like, I ain't giving you another one. Hell no. Nah, it is funny. Like, if like CrossFit and weightlifting, I absolutely love both of them. It just kind of depends on what my schedule is like, depending on how I train. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, right now, what can I do? I'll go to a class, I'll do some lifting or whatever. And if I'm enjoying like the whole lifting cycle, it is hilarious because I'll do some sort of quote unquote fitness, right? Something that raises your heart rate above like 10 over resting. And I'm dying.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no, this is not good. This is not fun time.
I think the CrossFit workout called for like 3 rounds of 21 calories on the assault bike last week. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So I just like rode the bike on that part of it and got off when other people did. And I think total, I burned like 36 calories total for the entire workout when I'm supposed to do 21 around. Like, that's more my speed.
But
I can do that.
You are a smaller lady though.
Yes, I am.
Like,
I'm
but you're also light.
Well, yeah.
So like, this is where the assault bike or the asshole bike, as I call it, is like, well, it is, right? Like, it's fucking awful.
Agreed.
But like, if you go on, I'm like, all right, just sprint on this for 20 seconds. Like, you're only going to get so much. Or if you get like 110 kilo bloke, you like sprint on this for 20 seconds. They'll like times your calories by 5.
Right.
It's not really fair.
How? Why? I don't understand. Yeah, it's miserable.
Yeah, fuck the assault bike.
Yeah.
No. So what competition have you got coming forward? Have you got any in your sight?
Not as of right now. I'm hoping that I'll be all healed up from the surgery and be able to get a couple training cycles in before possibly September. I think that's AO3, American Open Series 3. But I'm kind of just I'm trying not to have expectations after the surgery. I'm just gonna take it day by day and kind of see. Obviously there's my hope, best case scenario is that I come out of this, I rehab it properly, and then I'm stronger and better than ever. but I also have to be realistic in the fact that they're going to take some of my glute tissue out, and I don't know if that will affect me moving forward. So I'm trying to have minimum expectations for myself and just do what I need to do every day, and then hopefully be able to compete in September, December this year. So kind of a longer break to give me a lot of time to heal and recover.
I mean, if there's any time to do it, it's going to be now, right? With everything kind of thrown up in the air, or doing online comps and
Yep.
all that thing. So yeah, like take the slower route, but you're going to end up getting even further than you would do if you try and cut it, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to do an international competition for USA weightlifting. I think it was originally for February, but they pushed it back to April, May, maybe. So I declined that because I knew I was needing to do something for my glute. So yeah, now's the time. The Olympic qualification is pretty much over. I mean, we know who we're probably going to send. Fingers crossed the Olympics still goes forward. So, it was a fun ride going through that qualification process. I never had a chance really, but I think I'm last on the list for the Olympic qualification for the US. But it still was pretty cool to be able to do that and be a part of the process. But now that that's over, it's time to, fix my body.
I mean, you were on the list.
It's on the list.
It still counts, right?
I think for nationals, 349 in the weight class below me beat my total. But I'm still on the list. I'm still a national champion.
Oh, yeah, you should get it framed. Like one of those old like newspaper cuttings, like get it framed, put it on the wall. Like, hey, look, I'm on the list. Aren't you last? Hey, fuck off, I'm on the list.
Right.
Are you on the list? No.
I know I'm last, but I'm on the list.
Yeah, I mean fuck. That's still really impressive,
Thanks. Yeah, it was cool. It was a long 18 months, but I wouldn't give it up. So my body's just paying for it now a bit.
Like
so I give a lot of props to the girls that, are still healthy and crushing it, and crushing the 55 kilo girls total at 49. So
like I watched the national powerlifting here in Christchurch. I went over maybe a few months ago, right? Whenever it was. And there was like ladies weighing, I don't know, 46 kilos, 45 kilos, something that you would pick up and you get a nice tight spiral on, you would launch it for a mile. You're just like, okay, cool. And then they kick off and like, oh yeah, she's just going to open a 180 back squat. And you're like, sorry, what?
I'm sorry, come again?
And absolutely smokes it. You're just like, you are a fucking legend.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's incredible seeing, the big weights, the big ladies, the big guys, but then also putting it into perspective of these people weighing the same as like a stack of piece of paper and just lifting gigantic weights.
Yeah.
It's really hard to fathom because most people can't get to that body weight. They simply will not be healthy at that body weight. Never mind fucking train with it. Never mind compete with it or be competitive with it. So yeah, I think they're actually more entertaining to watch than the supers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I do too. I think because you just have an appreciation for it more. Like I still don't think my parents even understand what I do.
Oh no, that it's also like a generational thing as well, right?
Yeah. Everybody at work is like, "Oh, you have another bodybuilding competition?" I'm just like, "Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's what I do."
Weightlifting. What do you do? Just like pick up your groceries?
Right.
Is that yes?
Oh, that's deadlift, right? Yeah. Yeah, I bench.
Yeah, how much do you bench?
Yep. I don't even try to explain it anymore.
What, you just come back into court with your gold medal around your neck and just be like, so what are we doing today?
Right.
Yeah, weightlifting's a funny one though, isn't it? Because it's kind of spoken about hush hush in a few circles at the back of a gym, and was like, oh, this this is a snatch, we're weightlifting, clean and jerk, maybe squatting, sitting down. And then everyone else is like, what the fuck are those people doing? Why are they throwing barbells above their head? What's going on? Where's the machine?
Yep.
And also, I think the funniest thing in terms of weightlifting is you see it in a CrossFit gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell the weightlifter because they get a seat and sit down.
Yes.
And everyone else is stood around like, oh, I'm waiting to go again. I'm like, motherfucker, sit your ass down. Jeez.
Yep. Or they treat it like an imam.
Yeah.
No.
How much time we got to warm up, coach? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I've not even tied my laces in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, weightlifting. Oh, it's funny. So something that you posted, I think I first saw this ages ago. Seed cycling.
Ooh, my favorite thing.
This blows my fucking mind.
I know.
Mate,
it's
go
a
for
hidden
it.
Secret. It's a hidden secret for all my ladies who, I mean, anyone could benefit from doing it, but it really helps with getting your period regulated. It also helps with PMS symptoms. So you first have to track your period, right? Because you have to know there's 2 sets of seeds, and you have to know when to take which set of seeds based on where you are in your cycle. So your first phase is day 1 through 14 when you're in your follicular phase. And that's going to be where you take a teaspoon of flaxseed and a teaspoon of pumpkin seed. And then your next phase from ovulation to your actual period, days 15 through 28, or however long your period is, you're going to take sunflower seeds and sesame seeds. And it's crazy. I mean, some of my clients, the clients that commit to it and actually take the seeds every day, have seen so much impact on their period, whether it be more regular, or they see in the first 3 weeks. Even I've had clients say that their bloating, cramps are way less than before they started seed cycling. For myself, I fuck my period all up in a weight cut.
Yeah.
So I have to do a whole reset for not only my nutrition, but like my hormonal health too. I think going into competition week, I was eating like 30 grams of fat.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, and you need, I think, like for a proper hormone health, you need to be around like 55 to 60 grams for, ladies. So that's a big hit. So my period is fucked up for 3 months after that. So I seed cycle, and it helps just get it right back on track. As well as I used to have a lot of like bloating, cramps, low back pain, and that has helped me with that too. And it's something so easy. Everybody looks at me and they're like, seed cycling. It sounds so complicated. But it's really not. You get bulk seeds, you grind them up in a food processor or a blender, put them in a Tupperware, take a spoonful to the face every day, once a day, and then you're done. Easy peasy. If you don't want to take it to the face, you can put it in a smoothie, put it on some oatmeal, throw it in your protein shake. It's really not complicated. And it's just like a supplement. And people are like, well, I'm just going to regulate my hormones through food. Cool, totally fine. But this is food, number one. And it's just like taking creatine. It's just like taking protein. So I love it. I'm obsessed with it. All my clients who do it have seen results with it if they're consistent with it. Big fan.
How did you get onto it?
How did I get onto it? Because I read so many books. And I can't even tell you the one book that pointed to it. I think a couple of books talked about it, and then I just tried it. I don't give any of my clients something that I haven't done myself. So I tried it and it was like total game changer. My period is regular. I get it every 28 days. I have like last time I got my period, I didn't even know I was getting it because there was no cramps, no bloating. It's just it's a miracle.
See, I think this is
Miracle
something
in
that
little seeds.
it's crazy, isn't it? Just these little things that you can do day in, day out will just change everything. And I think it's really important, like for males in general, and then also male coaches and male athletes to then understand this shit, right?
Yeah.
Granted, there's a lot of things we're not going to understand simply because we don't know what it feels like.
Right.
Yet the whole thing of like fat is hormone, it helps regulation of hormones, endocrine system, like it's fucking true. And I'll say to everyone, right? Okay, you don't believe it? Eat no fat for like 3 days. Try and get a hard on. It doesn't fucking work.
Okay.
No wonder.
I don't know that from experience. But okay.
It's a similar thing though, right? It ends up just fucking you up. And I've got this book. I've tried to read it like 3 times, but it's so technical that I've ended up putting it down. But I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna put it on record.
Okay.
So I got this book. Have you read this one?
Yes, that's a great book.
It's a fucking great book, but I mean, hey, it's heavy.
Maybe
I
finished that in like 3 days.
All right,
I was into it though.
Fuck, we're not here to show off.
Okay.
I'm not the most book smart of people. I'm street smart, not book smart. There's a reason why I'm not an attorney.
Well, I'm the opposite, so.
I bet you across the street on a bend or something daft like that. You know what I mean? Like you see people that are incredibly smart in terms of books, yet do something daft like cross the street on a bend. You're like, you can't see around it. Well, what are you doing?
You know what I mean? That would be me.
Oh, dear.
Like, I gotta go to the other side of the street. Let's go. Yes, Period Repair Manual by Laura Bryden is a very good book. I have it right here, actually.
Oh, snap.
So, yeah, it's spot on. I'm actually having one of my clients read that who is thinking about getting off of their birth control. So yeah, it's a really good resource. I don't think that one talks about seed cycling, but yeah.
See, that's another thing that's fascinating of like, again, people take it for granted, whether male, female, or whatever, just be like, oh, okay, yeah, birth control, whatever. It's just something that most people do. Okay, whatever, cool. Let's move on to the next thing. And you're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like this could genuinely start changing this woman. And it's like
exactly. And that's, I was on birth control for 8 years, and my hormone levels were like at menopausal levels, and I was messed up. Like I was getting hot flashes at night, felt terrible, no sex drive. And then I got off birth control because I started weightlifting and I needed to cut weight, and I lost 15 pounds out the gate.
Fuck.
Yep. My sex drive came back, felt a million times better, was able to lose weight, obviously, like I said. And then it took 9 months for me to get my period back after coming off birth control. So it just has so many different side effects that you don't realize, because as a kid, I was 18, I think, when I went on birth control. Yeah. You want to practice safe sex. So you're like, okay, get on the pill. But no one tells you about all these repercussions that it can have on your system, and all the repercussions it can have on your hormones. And then getting off it is like a whole nother thing, because you have like post-pill acne, for instance. A lot of my friends and clients struggle with that. And it's just a cycle. You have acne because you're on the pill, but then you get off it and you have acne, so you get back on the pill, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. And you're just like, why do I have acne? I'll get back. And the answer from conventional medicine is go on the pill, but that's just making it worse. But then you get off it. It's just like it's never ending. And I until I started doing my own research for my own health, I had no idea, because this is not what your normal OBGYN is feeding you, right? You're just like, okay, you have acne or you have really heavy periods, we'll put you on we'll put you on birth control. And it's not really, I mean, if it's obviously everybody's choice, but it should be an informed choice. And when I was put on birth control, it was definitely not an informed choice. It felt like it was the only option I had. So that is like my jam, is to, if you want to be on birth control, cool, but let's talk about all the pros and all the cons to that. And also inform you as to other options that you have too as a woman. It's not to avoid pregnancy, that's not the only way. It is a way, but not the only way, right?
Why do you think it's like in most modern medicine is like, hey, the only way is to go onto birth control? Why do you think that is?
I think it's easy.
Yeah.
Popping a pill.
Pop a pill, yeah.
Is easier than getting your hormones tested and really seeing what's going on, if you have high or low estrogen, or if you have other issues like endometriosis or PCOS. I mean, it's just easier, or to avoid pregnancy, it's easier to just take a pill than it is to track your cycle, understand ovulation, wear a condom when you are ovulating. Like, it's easier just to be like, I'm going to pop a pill at 8 a.m. every morning and not get pregnant, rather than I'm going to wake up every morning, log my period, take my basal body temperature, all those other things that you could do that don't have the negative effects. It's easier to just pop a pill.
Yeah, that's the problem with Western medicine, though, isn't it? Like, everything is just, oh, okay, here you go, here's a quick fix, and then that's just bled into everything else. You can see it in the fitness industry. It's like, oh, hey, I want to be, Jessica's really strong. I want to be strong like her. What do I need to do? Oh, pop this pill. Wear this waist trainer or some bullshit, and skinny teas or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think that's where, in this industry, you got a unique opportunity, because ladies can lead from the front, and especially in the performance side, because you have to address it. You can't just pop all these pills and whatever, because it will end up fucking with your performance. So you have to address it and go down other avenues. And then that's where you can then educate others and be like, hey, here's some information. If you want to do it, wicked. If not, wicked. But now you have two doors you can go down, rather than being placed in a corridor and you have to be shoved through one door.
Right. And it's also just like a basis of knowledge that you can gain from understanding why women need the hormones that you're getting naturally when you're not on birth control. It's such like a eye-opening experience for me to have learned. And this is just been within the last 5 years. Like, why do I feel groggy some days? Why do I feel really strong some days? Why am I moody some days? Why do I feel more apt to have a headache? Why is my sleep shitty? Like, all those things are all interrelated to estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, and they all play a role. So it's just like another avenue to learn more about your body that a large majority of women don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah,
I didn't know it. So I just feel like it's such a cool concept, right? We have our period for a reason. It's not only just, obviously, it's to procreate. That is an option to us for those that choose that, but it also serves a purpose in our bodies too. And we can be better and use that to our advantage. So
See, this is where it needs to be in school, right? It needs to be taught at a young age, and then developed as you go through a subject. Obviously, you get the foundation at a young age. People drop off and go do something else, but you still know the foundation of it, like fucking maths or whatever. And then it's built upon there, and it gets really complex. And I think it should be in school dead early. hormones, understand it, what they feel for both sexes. And this was what really pisses me off, because males, yeah, granted, you're not going to feel it because you don't have a freaking period, or, you know, there's the whole fluctuation of hormones for males and two, but we don't give birth, right? And it's annoying because, oh, it doesn't happen to me, I don't need to know about it. I'm like, but now you're not going to understand. One, if you're a coach, that's fucked because you don't understand if you're coaching a female athlete. But two, then you're also not going to understand if you know, your own mother, your fucking sister, your significant other, your mate or whatever. And then that just can cause conflict. I'm just like, look, take some time, learn about each other, what's going on. Like, it's just all skin and bone and flesh. You know what I mean? Let's just figure out what's going on. And then you're more informed, like you said, to make any decision you want to do. Then you can own your decision rather than saying, oh, no, I didn't know, sort of thing. Like, take some fucking accountability and learn about it. Then make a decision.
Yeah, I actually had one of my friends, he has 3 daughters, and he reached out to me because 2 of his daughters recently got their period. And he's like, Jess, can you sit down with them and just tell them about all of this stuff? And I was like, yes, of course, I would love to. But you should also know about it too, so that you can have these conversations and you can relate to them. So if you're going to be a dad, if you're going to be a husband, if you're going to be a friend to females, like, this is all knowledge that you can know. Like, not that you have to, I hate that, like, oh, you're moody, you're on your period, but to understand the actual reasons why, and then just come from a place of understanding instead of judgment, because it's really such a cool thing that we have going on in our bodies that males don't necessarily have or understand. So.
And human beings are organic, right? And they fucking change and adapt. And I think that's what we need to, that principle we need to take and apply it to this situation. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this, you know, we're all human. You're just the other half of the human race. So, oh, well, they're changing because of this and that, and something's going on, and let's understand it. Have the conversation, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I see it. I don't know. There's a lot of separation, and I think it's shit. Personally, I think it's shit. Like, but I've also been lucky, but also not lucky. Like, I've had a couple of girlfriends in the past. One of them had endometriosis. One of them would go blind with migraines. So you kind of see like the severe side that you obviously, as the male side of the species, you take it for granted because you don't go through it. So you're like, whatever, it kind of like occurs in this weird faraway land.
World.
Yeah, whatever. We're never gonna like peer inside that world. And then you see it happen to someone that you care about. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is just a random Tuesday afternoon and you're on the floor. I was just like, okay, this is a problem. Let's like figure out how to like, what we can do, what we can help this. And then you can also, how does the diet come involved? Obviously you got the seed cycling and whatnot, but do you change anything else in the diet to help that?
To help what exactly?
If someone, say for example, a lady has really heavy periods and it messes her up each week, do you change anything to, like, each week, each month? Do you change anything to then help alleviate any of those symptoms? Does it go deeper than the seeds?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's way deeper than the seeds. Obviously, I mean, all my clients come to me and they're under eating. I haven't had one that was, eating. They might be eating enough food, but not in proportion to what they should, right? They're eating a shitload of fats compared to carbs and 0 protein. So the first step in any client conversation is usually we're increasing your food and we're going to make your protein, carbs, and fats be how they should be balanced and not just all over the place and very inconsistent. And a lot of times, like I said before, fats have to be 60 grams to have proper hormone health, with the level of calories that you need to fuel your body. I mean, our bodies are amazing things that can adapt to pretty much anything. And all of my clients so far have been under eating and under feeding, which causes, metabolic changes, hormonal changes. So you have to be fueling your body properly. And then we can kind of like get into like there's supplement regimens, natural supplement regimens for endo, there's supplement regimens for acne, just to get your body to start working and responding to these things that we have to adapt to. There's all these stressors in the world, the air we breathe, the plastic, stress, exercise. We have to be fueling our body, properly for that. And that's the number one thing I would say is just eating enough to fuel us. And then really dialing in supplementation for whatever your period symptom may be. Seed cycling too. I have all these different supplement regimens for different things, but that supplements should be in addition to a diet that's fueling you properly. If you're not eating enough, it's only going to do so much.
Yeah, I agree. How does that conversation usually go? Like, because people, most of the time it's like, hey, I want to get mean and lean like Magic Mike. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay, I want you to eat more. You're like, sorry, come again. You want me to do what now?
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of people come and that's, it's always weight loss. That's what I want to do. I want to lose weight, which is great, but people don't understand how much an investment it takes to get to a place where you can achieve weight loss. I mean, some people are lucky that they can just, start eating clean and they'll lose weight, whatever eating clean means, or, cut out quote unquote cheat meals and then I'm going to lose weight. But is that really sustainable? Is that really a lifestyle that you can maintain throughout a long period of time that doesn't cause you to gain all that weight back? Like really, I preach sustainability for my clients. I want this to be something that you can sustain throughout your life and we can manipulate to achieve your different goals. But a lot of times that starts out with, because they're under eating, I have to look at what they're currently intaking, have some sort of baseline for that, and then work them up to a calorie amount that's going to fuel their bodies sufficiently. And then from there, and only from there, can we make changes to lose weight. And that's a hard conversation for some clients to understand, because they just are like, I want to look like you, or I want to lose 15 pounds. Why can't we just do it? But your body, again, it adapts to what you do to it. So if you've been chronically under eating for years, or yo-yo dieting for years, your body has adapted to that. So we have to get you back to a place calorically where your body's comfortable and where all your body systems are working properly. And then you can cut your body down. And sometimes, I mean, I've had clients where increasing food, they're losing weight because your body can't wait to be fed again. So it's really interesting. I mean, everybody's different. And a lot of people, I do, when I reverse diet back up, I gain weight and I let my body likes to sit at around 59, 60 kilos. And I have to do the same thing every time to a weight cut. But I have many clients who are losing weight, losing inches while I inch them up in calories. And they're like, wow, I can't believe, like I've had a client lose 40 pounds. Jesus. And they've increased their food intake immensely. And it's so cool. But it's also so sad sometimes, because we think in diet culture, we have to be starving, we have to be in a diet, we have to not eat in order to lose weight. And it's just such a false narrative that you have to be hungry and you have to starve yourself and that you shouldn't eat in order to be skinny or lose weight. So it's cool in a way, but it's also sad in a way when you get someone who just doesn't understand. And a lot of people don't understand because that's the messaging you've been fed, right?
Mm. But I mean, if you take that time to explain all that and you plow more energy into it, they've got to be like, okay, this lady truly cares about me and my well-being. Like, she's not just giving me, oh, okay, just eat 800 calories a day and like sit on a treadmill and you're going to get there in 7 days. It's like, oh no, okay, cool. We're going to do this, this, and this. And then if this happens or whatever, and you're always in constant contact, like they must be like, all right, she genuinely cares about me as a human being. Okay, I'm going to buy into this a little more. I'm going to stick with it. And if you said something, I'll take it as gospel and do it.
Yeah, I hope they know that. Now, most of my clients do. Sometimes, most of the time for my female clients, it's a give and take. It's a battle because it's hard for them to see the scale move upward sometimes. So you have to remind them and have that conversation again or say it in a different way, and then they get back on track. And because progress takes time too. Your body might, like mine, gain weight, but you have to see kind of like the bigger picture. You're gonna hit this, and then we'll be able to do. That's when the magic happens, right? That's when we can actually manipulate, and you'll see some changes, and we'll be able to, do a little bit more. But we really can't do anything, and here's why. And then, it's a give and take, a push pull with those conversations because it's hard. It's hard to see for people who measure themselves on the weight between their feet. It's hard to see that go up when you're one, putting in so much work, right? You're paying for a nutrition coach, you're putting in the work to prep your food, you're eating the food, you're exercising, but still the scale is going up. It's like a mind fuck. But you have to see the picture.
And again, it's just it goes back to that more information, right? So then people can make a more informed decision. And I think if anyone most of the time they look at the scale, right, and they're like, "Oh my god, those numbers." But I'm like, what does that number actually mean? It's just your numerical relationship with gravity. That's all. Like it's made up of fucking a million and one things. So it doesn't necessarily matter what that number does. First of all, are you bloody happy? Second of all, are you healthy? And then third of all, are you taking a step, even if it's half a step in the direction that you want to go? That's 3 wins right there. Doesn't matter what that bloody thing's doing. But a lot of the time, it's just making people buy in, right?
Yeah, making people buy in is for sure. And to manage expectations, I always try to have clients think of the number on the scale as it's just a data point. It provides no numerical value to how worthy you are or how pretty you are. It's just a data point. And sometimes I even tell clients, if it's going to have an effect on you, we're not going to weigh. We're not going to weigh for the next 3 months. Why? Because I don't care. What I care about is, how do you feel? How are your energy levels? How are you sleeping? How are you recovering after a workout? Let's pay attention to that biofeedback, and then we can jump on the scale in 3 months from now when you're hitting your numbers consistently at 80% and you've done it for 4 to 6 weeks, and then we can start dialing it in a little bit more when it comes to the scale. But until then, it really doesn't matter. It's just a data point, and we're going to work on all these other things before that. So,
and they also get a little bit more independent, right? Because they start listening to those biofeedbacks, like you say, and they start learning and understand what's actually, the shell that they're in, rather than just relying on these numbers that throw out to them every morning. They're like, oh my God, okay, that's telling me that I've been doing things right or wrong. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? That's just like a piece of glass on some like magnets, and then it's like, what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love when clients text me like, hey, I had a really hard workout today and I'm really hungry. Is it okay to eat over my macros? Yes. If you're hungry, eat. Have a banana. Like, so, but it's great because it's like a transition. But before, it's like, oh no, I have to starve myself, and it's like, oh no, I deserve food. I need to eat to sustain life, and I did a hard workout today. I'm noticing that I'm hungry. I should eat. Like, I know it sounds so simple, but it's such a like an awakening almost, to be like, yes, bitch, eat some food. Let's go.
It's just fuel, right? That's all it is. It's just fuel that tastes really fucking good.
Really good.
Like, imagine every time you put petrol in your car started smiling and was just like, oh yeah, this is the stuff. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Mate, I really appreciate your time. I know you need to fucking shoot off.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, that went by so fast.
So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anytime. Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out.
Always. Go crush some weights and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you. Have a good night, day. I don't know what time it is for you.
Midday.
Midday. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
See you later, mate.